Hi, I'm Mairi from Change is Always Possible, and I want to read something to you from this book, which is called Paths to Recovery, AlAnon's Steps, Traditions and Concepts, because it keeps coming into my mind, the concept 5 from the AlAnon groups, and I decided just to read it out rather than try and type it all out, that perhaps it would be better just to say it. So here goes. Concept 5. The rights of appeal and petition protect minorities and assure that they be heard. AlAnon is a fellowship in which anyone who believes his or her personal life has been affected by problem drinker can be a member. Individual freedom and belonging are both of enormous importance to us. We never take these rights away from each other. Concept 5 protects both our freedom and our belonging at all service levels by assuring each of us that we can expect respectful consideration whether we fit into the majority or the minority at any point in time. The right of appeal assures that dissenting opinions will be heard. The right of petition assures that any trusted servant can always petition for resolution of a grievance. And I think this is particularly important at this time because the world is in a state of crisis and there is a majority way being perceived about how we should go about dealing with it, and what if that's not right? So I'll just go on to read a little bit more about the explanation of this concept. The right of appeal found in Concept 5 reminds us that we need to listen with consideration to everyone and encourage those with differing opinions, minorities, to state their views. Inviting those in the minority to speak out and listening to them with full hearts and consideration helps us maintain unity. Wouldn't it be great if we had global unity? Or even unity within families, within communities, within countries. And maybe there's something in this concept from AlAnon that can help. When we hear, understand, value and incorporate minority opinions into our decision-making process, we may avoid mistakes that can occur when we are angry, hasty, misinformed or rigid. Practicing consideration compels a thorough debate, keeps us all focused on the issue at hand, and validates the worth and dignity of each member. We recognise by applying Concept 5 that even substantial majorities sometimes can be wrong, and that we are all best served by encouraging a full and fair discussion of issues. A minority in AlAnon that feels strongly that the majority is in error has not only the right, but also the duty to speak out or to file a report stating their views, a minority report. It takes courage to speak up when we are in the minority. Having permission and even the obligation to do so without prejudice or fear of reprisal often strengthens our courage. And of course, that's exactly what's not happening at the moment. People who are trying to speak out and question some of the things that are going on our planet at the moment are in the minority, and they are not being treated with consideration, compassion, and open hearts. So let me continue. Sometimes in the heat of debate, we can only see things in terms of winning or losing. Sometimes we become so attached to our own solutions that we lose our creativity. Listening to a minority voice may bring to mind a solution we never even thought about that serves all parties better than a compromise. Practicing consideration and courage helps us seek resolution where everyone wins. And now there's a story. An example of such a win-win solution is the story of the two people who wanted a single orange. Recognising that if one got the whole orange, the other would be unhappy, they agreed to compromise. Each took half of the orange. One promptly peeled her half, threw the peel away and ate the pulp. The other peeled the half he got, grated the peel for a recipe and threw away the pulp. Had they listened more closely to each other, they could have discovered a solution in which each won the whole part of the orange they wanted, and none of it would have been wasted. When we are open to hearing minority voices and listen with full consideration, we all benefit because everyone is respected and included. Mistakes are frequently avoided, and solutions that please everyone are often found. In cases where substantial unanimity still overrules the minority members, respectfully hearing and carefully considering their suggestions assures each of us that we will always be a valuable participant. And then it goes on to talk in more detail about how that actually works within the organisation of AlAnon. So I just wanted to share that because the way that I can behave within my own family, within my community, what goes on in my head about these things, about what's happening on the planet, are not always helpful. And I personally would prefer a world based on that idea. Maybe that's because it would suit me better, as I often find myself a minority voice. So my reminder from that as a minority is to have the courage to speak up. And for those who find themselves often in the majority and hammering out those ideas, perhaps it would be helpful if you could sometimes listen with an open heart to what the minority have to say. Thank you for listening.